Greetings. In this series, we are reflecting over the rotten lies from those Zionists among the Christians and among the Jews. Not all Jews are Zionists, not all Christians are Zionists. So let us look at the lies of those Zionists about the state of Israel. Here we start looking at the stupid history of this Israeli nation. Now, Jacob, after defeating God in the last video, now with his family he is in Canaan, the land of the Canaanites. And according to Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 5 says, O Canaan, land of the Philistines, translated into English by Palestinians. English just came a few hundred years back. We are talking 3,000 to 4,000 years back. English did not exist back then. Very well. So now that Jacob is in the land of the Philistines, the Canaanites, he had 12 sons and one daughter. How the story, the history of this rotten nation started. The first action, with a big question mark. The 10 sons of Jacob, not counting Benjamin. Benjamin was very young, a very small child. He was younger than Joseph when this happened. The 10 Israeli sons of Jacob, Israel, they conspired. They cheated their father. They asked their father to send Joseph with them. Perhaps he can play and enjoy himself. He's like 5, 6 years old. So after a lot of effort they have done, the father said, yes, take him. Now they took him and they threw him into a well. And then they hid behind the rocks, waiting to see what happens. Some passing by merchants, they stopped by the well to dig some water. Joseph saw the bucket, he hanged into it, and they pulled him up. Just by mere chance. And the work of the Lord Almighty, of course, who planned all this to save Joseph. So now that, Joseph is out, his 10 brothers, they ran, and they said, this is our slave. He belonged to us. You want him? Buy him. So how much you want for him? They said, anything. We don't care about money. We need to get rid of this slave that we had. He's a rotten slave. He doesn't work well. He doesn't do but troubles. So they took very little money in exchange for their brother Joseph. And those merchants took Joseph to Egypt. And Joseph stayed for years without his father and his family because of his rotten brothers. 10 Israeli brothers, including Judah, the fourth son. And the father lived without his beloved Joseph, who he loved more than the others, incredibly more. And he was crying day and night for this loss until he got blind. He cannot see. And then the story continues until they join back together at the end. 20 years, 30 years. Finally, Joseph says, I'm the second in command in Egypt. Come and live with me here. So Jacob took all his belongings, his family, the children, the grandchildren, the wives, the women, and he left to Egypt to join with Joseph and his brother Benjamin, who was taken for, Benjamin, went first and was kept by Joseph in Egypt. This is how this rotten nation of Israel started. Their own flesh and blood. Their young brother, he was the youngest among them before Benjamin. They threw him in the well. He didn't commit any evil to deserve this. They are just jealous because their father Jacob loved Joseph more than he loved them. Just jealousy. Throwing your own brother in a well. How rotten can you be to do this? And not one or two brothers, 10 brothers committing this satanic, rotten act against their youngest brother, knowing that this will hurt their father's heart badly, and it did. Welcome to the stupid history of the Israeli nation, that those Zionists like John Hagee is a miserable slave and lies on their behalf. We're going to see so much rotten, evil actions next from this same nation called the Israelis. Long before invading Palestine and killing hundreds of thousands, raping the land, colonizing, and making Palestinians live miserably for the last 70 years. But we are looking at this stupid nation from the beginning. And this is how they started. A satanic, rotten start. No doubt about it. Let's continue next time. Take care.